Good morning. It's September the 29th, 2015, one day before the end of the month and the end of the quarter. And end of quarter dynamics should certainly be factored into our thinking today. And money managers are compensated for performance, and they are compared on a quarterly, semi-annual, and annual basis. So not as big as the June 30th closing, nor the December 31st, but pretty important. So the incentives to get heavily short aren't there today in equities nor in treasuries. So that's where we find ourselves today. I think the direction of treasuries, everything today will boil down to what's the E-mini going to do? Is the selling going to continue or not? Asia got slammed. Collectively was off 9.04%. Europe was pretty quiet, only off 0.18%. And the E-mini is up about 8 points from yesterday's close right now. The real break in the E-minis is at 1900. They're 1885, 87. Then 1893 to 1900 is where resistance is. So the E-mini will probably try to trade up today and at least retest the 85, 87 area before we know what we have. So if the E-mini trades up, my guess is treasuries trade down. And right now they are pointed lower. Looking at where resistance might lie, we've got this WX ledge at 13.5. We're at 11.5, so 13 to 17 is sell 1. Picks up this Q period high right there. And then 19 to 23 is sell 2. I don't think the treasuries can break out today unless the E-mini is just cratering. On the buy side, we are pointed lower. We do have pretty good support. It's 8. 5 to 9 is where the first little band of support will be. I think the best buy comes at 1 to 5. So we're going to put a question mark at 9. And our first buy is 1 to 5, buying against the buck. May take 9s to get in. Again, it's just totally dependent upon what the E-mini does. If the E-mini just explodes and off of short covering and trades up 30, 40 points today, the treasuries are going to give up a lot. Today's news: Case-Shiller plus 1/10. Consumer confidence 96. The range is 88 to 101. Can't believe anybody would have a 101 up there. And then it's after the market closes, but farm prices minus 5.7. And then minus 10% year on year. So the ag community is suffering too. The lower commodity prices, except for meats. And they are a little bit lower too from where they have been, but certainly not where they were over the last couple of years. So first sells 13 to 17, then 19 to 23. First buy is 1 to 5. May take 9s to get in, don't know, just depends on what happens with the E-mini. And then 25 to 29. Yesterday on the close, the knob spread was at 29.04. It was at 28.24 this morning. So the knob spread has come in quite a bit. And as usual, the big play for those of you that know how to trade treasuries is in the 30-year. Learn how to do it in the note. That's where the tuition costs are the lowest. Don't worry about making money. And then once you've got the methodology down, go trade the 30-year. And you'll like it. Okay, just looking at where the market might find support, we've got the single print at 56.31, 57 even, so that's potential support. Last rotate down in D period was 56.21. So 156.16 to 20 is reasonable support, and then we've got probably 28 to the buck. So I'm going to, because we're pointed lower, 25, 29, buy 1. and then 17 to 13. This contract just really moves, and I do my number one points are where support and resistance are. They're pretty easily taken out if we get some help from the E-mini. 9 to 13 will be sell 1, and then 19 to 23 will be sell 2. Really boils down to, can we take out the buck, 157 even? Will the E-mini, what's the E-mini going to do today? After a real strong trend day, the tendency is to go back and find out where support actually lies, and the breakout yesterday came at 156.22. So getting down into that 56.20-24 area is within reach. So 20 to 24 is, I think, a reasonable buy zone. And we'll favor a little bit to the upside to give the markets room to set up. Okay, we left the gold market yesterday expecting it to sell. And again, it's really, you can't sue the government without their permission. It's really, I mean, look what's going on with the IRS. Laws broken all over the place. Look what's going on with Hillary Clinton. Laws broken all over the place, admittedly so too. They don't go to jail. Nothing happens to them. If you put a few of these people in jail to show them that they don't just get to go off in silence with their millions of dollars or their pensions, then you might be able to change the game a little bit. But until there are consequences, that's where we are. So here we have governments out there banging on the gold market to keep prices low and turning around and buying the physical. Go figured. Last night we said we had pretty good support, 20 to 25. We had resistance at 35 to 40. And that's pretty much where we are. So 25, 23 by 1. That's where support is. And then 18 to 20 by 2. On the sell side, 30, 32, sell 1. 35, 37, sell 2. Okay, looking at the euro, China supported the yuan last night. They bought some of it back. That's twice this week that they bought the yuan. 2 days into the week. Last week they were selling. We had yesterday, I didn't write the numbers down, but probably 1275 and then 1300, and so we didn't quite make 113. 1275 was doable. So we got a B, and the market is pointed lower right now. And where might the market find support? Well, 1225 and then 1200. So we'll make 1200 by 1. I think it's going a little bit lower. Then 1175 by 2. And on the sell side, 1250. Sell 1. And 1275 sell 2. Okay, crude. Last night, Putin and Obama met. We have abrogated all of our influence, and 50 years of kicking Russia out of the Middle East and their dictators versus our dictators is all gone. It's been turned over to China. It's been turned over to Russia and Iran. And with China, Russia, and Iran all on the same table, I doubt Syria, and with the United States folding, where does that leave the Persian Gulf states? and Israel for that matter, probably in a pretty precarious position. So that's where we are. We got volume at 45.31. The market is trying to trade up right now. So we still have a buyer in the 44 area, 44, 44 and a quarter. That's where we had it last night. And we wanted to buy 44, 44 and a quarter. Didn't quite get there. The low is 31. So on the buy side, we've got 44.50, 75, buy one. Take out 44.50, good shot of going down to the buck. So 44, 44 and a quarter, buy two. Market's pointed higher right now, 45 and a quarter, 45.50. That's where we are. Going to be fairly easy to take that out. And 45.76, 46 would be a little tougher. So market's trying to trade higher right now, and resistance, probably best resistance, starts at 45.50. And 150 ticks would take us to 45.80. And our second sell band. Okay, the E-mini. London stabilized the heavy selling. We had heavy selling in the United States yesterday. Asia followed suit. Asia almost always does what the U.S. is going to do. And then the United States has come back. Our markets have come back. We're actually trading up off of yesterday's close. So when we take a look at the F1 screen, 1900. That is a very, very clean break in the market. Got that M period low. Right here you have this E period low. And the fact that 1900 is a very round number. So 1900 off the F1 is where resistance lies, and it's not going to be very difficult to get to that level. If we take a look at yesterday's structure, the single print at 85, we have the spill from C period at 92, so 85 to 92 is where resistance is. So our first sell is 85 to 90. And then our second sell is 95 to 1900. Now, we've been getting, when you counted the Globex range, 30 to 40 handle moves from the Globex high or low. So we got a low of 60, 30 points takes us to 90, 40 points takes us to 1900. So 1900, my point is 1900 is within reach. We got a P right now. Think they can get stops above the overnight session high. We'll have to see if that happens. Okay, we're at 81 right now. First buy is 70 to 75. And then 60 to 65. Case-Shiller, plus a tenth. Consumer confidence, 96. And then farm prices at 3 p.m. this afternoon, minus 5.7. Be back with you as soon as possible. Got a lot of stuff to get up and out. Gonna get on it right now in a few.